Okay, so I've just brought you back because it looks like I'm not sure they may close it off until exactly the time. So no need in closing it off there.
Okay.
Great. Let me just see. I may have a message from Bruno here. If that's from Bruno. Yeah, it is from Bruno. Okay. Yeah. So good. So Michigan. Okay, that sounds like a place where you have quite a lot of cold in Michigan. No, if am I right?
I love the cold. Do not ask me to go to Florida and live with everybody. I love the cold. I only went to Israel once, and it was enough to, it was just my heart. The whole time it was beating. Yeah. It's good that the heart was beating, but it was just to be so proud. So proud.
Yeah.
Were you born there?
No, I'm originally from South Africa. I lived in South Africa.
Okay.
I lived in France as well for 10 years, and then we made Aliyah to Israel about 17 years ago, just over 17.
Okay. That's awesome. So that's home.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're really happy. Thank God our kids are happy. Everybody's happy. Okay. Hi, Soy. How are you? Welcome aboard. Okay, so I'm just going to check. Joyce, I'll bring you in a couple of minutes. Let me just get everyone on board then first. Hi, Pauline. Happy to have you on board. Michael, nice to have you with us as well. Be interested to hear where you guys are joining from. Hi, welcome everybody. I'm interested to hear Arnold, Jusaro, Carlos. Welcome and thanks for joining us. Soon we'll be underway. Just give people a bit of time to get on board. Hi, Minnie. Welcome aboard. Roberto. Really happy to have you all with us. Okay, and from Alaska, well, we have wow, that's great. From the UK, great. We're happy to have everybody aboard. Northern Ireland, say hi. Okay, Shireen, Florencia, Londana. Wow, we got a lot of people joining us. That's really great. Hi, Jim, Ellen. Really happy to see you all. And from Los Angeles, great. That's great. South Africa, Renee, happy to have you with us as well. And from London, Texas, wow, fantastic to have so many people from different continents, different countries, different cities. Wow, man, Shamara is from South Africa as well. Patrick Carlos from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Wow, fantastic, really. Canada, Brunswick, Canada, Delaware, Brazil, Jusaro. Wonderful, really happy, and really appreciate you guys taking the time to join us. So that's really, we really appreciate that. And we're looking forward to hearing from Joyce, who's going to tell us all about conflict resolution and communication. She's an expert in the field. From Venezuela, living in California, Tahiri, fantastic. Okay, Indiana, USA, that's Laura Lee. Wow, Misty from Texas. Okay, and C from Arkansas. Wow, amazing, really. I'm really touched to have all of you joining us, and it's really appreciated by myself and surely Joyce as well, Jim as well from Nazareth in the USA. That's wonderful. It's wonderful in today's day and age. Technology brings us all together from different continents, from different places, and it breaks the barriers. And I'm sure Joyce is going to tell us a little bit about that as well. From New Jersey, that's Stephanie. Wow. Okay, Jim's from Nazareth. Okay, excellent. Really nasty. So I'm Kevin, and I'm from the partnerships team. So I'm your host this evening, and I'm proud to be hosting this evening's workshop with Joyce Weiss, who's the Queen of Conflict Resolution. Joyce will tell us more about that soon. We'll just give 1 or 2 more minutes. Thanks for joining us, Freddie from Colombia. Okay, amazing. Guys, if how's the audio coming through? I just to confirm before we end away that the audio is coming through well. Okay, so it looks like all good. I would assume that everybody's having. Okay, wow, from Egypt, fantastic. Thanks, Afifine. Thanks for joining us. We're happy to have you with us. Amazing. Okay, Carl, thank you as much. Great. Wow, and Pedagogos from Kuwait. Fantastic. We really got people from all over the globe, and that's fantastic. And from New England, Asia from New England. Okay, and Tony. Wow, Tony, thanks for joining us. Okay, wonderful. So let's start by introducing Joyce, and then we'll just hear a little bit from Joyce, and then I'll let Joyce do a thing, and I'll leave you in the good hands of Joyce. So welcome, Joyce, and thank you very much for taking the time to do this workshop for us on this really important aspect of communication, and how in today's digital world, how it can be applicable in today's digital world, and how people can use this skill to move them forwards, to build their confidence, and to be able to use it in a work environment. We're really interested in looking forward to what you have to say about that.
Thank you. So do I, Kevin. You never know. You never know what comes from the speaker/coach's mouth. But I'm thrilled. I mean, seeing people from all over the world is about as good as it gets. This is very exciting.
Yeah, so we've got really a cosmopolitan group with us from all over the world, all, lots of continents and different countries, different cities. It's fantastic. And we really appreciate that. And I'm really happy that everybody came to join us, and we're excited to hear what you have to say. And with no further ado, I'm going to let you do your thing. Please feel free during the presentation to send messages via chat with any questions you may have. And the questions we'll address them towards the end of the presentation. But please, we'd love to hear from you. And I'll leave you in the good hands of Joyce.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, thank you. First of all, I need to let everybody know why I decided to add the things that I did for this webinar. Because when I got asked or invited to give this program, and we came up with speaking up without stressing out, I figured out some of the biggest things and challenges that my coaching clients experience. And I also decided, you know what? I better add things that stress me out too. So I'm going to be asking you periodically to add different comments in the chat, just so that I know you're with me or you're not with me. So I would like you to imagine, come on a small fantasy with me for a minute, how powerful you would feel when you confidently use your voice during tough conversations with colleagues, family members, your boss, that you speak up without stressing out. Plus, the irritations that used to drive you crazy in the past just magically disappear. And additionally, you look forward to creating videos that rock, that bring great results. I would like to have you give me a yes in the chat if you like this fantasy, please. My goal today is to share communication and coaching strategies so that you can become the best version of you. So it's the next one didn't come up. Kevin? The slide didn't come out. Kevin, the slide's not coming up? Don't worry, we'll figure this out. So I guess I'm not going to be using the slides. This is going to be fun. I'm glad a lot of you are saying yes. One of the first things, everybody just wait one moment, please. I want to see if I can reach Kevin.
Hi, okay. So let me just let's just try and get this result. You should be. Is your share active on your screen, Joyce? You want to just check your shares active because the
yes, it says stop. It says stop sharing.
Okay, so you should be able to move through the slides on your side.
I'm not. Let's see if this one will help. No, it's not. So, folks, this is how you stressed out. You have to make sure you have to deal with this. So,
okay, sorry guys, just patient a minute. Let me just take it off, and then you want to just try and go do the share again from the beginning. I'm going to take you off and then share, and then I'll.
Yes. Okay. Was this a test? So I'm going to stop sharing. Oh, there goes my.
Okay, guys. So we'll just give Joyce a minute to get her presentation up again, running again. It seems to have timed out for some reason. I'll give her the opportunity to get that done. Okay. So Joyce, if you can just check if you can share on your side, and I'll just authorize that as soon as it comes up. Okay, let's see. Can you get that set up there? Okay, let me bring Joyce back with us and see if that's okay. Great, Joyce. Did you share the slide?
There is no share on my screen. There's no share. There's just the microphone, the video, and the settings.
Okay, so you've got to change the screen layout on your side because you got the presentation. I cannot do the share from my side, so you need to do that on your side.
Tell me what to do.
Okay, so you should go to the main screen. Where below the screen, you should have all the different options, a bit like on a Google Share, and you should have a small box with like an arrow in it. It says share screen.
Don't. How do I get there?
Check the tab. Let me take myself off. Maybe.
No, there's a video and there's settings.
Okay.
And you know what? If we can't make this work, I'll just, like you said, I'll just do this without slides. I can do it.
What you can do is if you want to send me the presentation to my side, and then I'll pick it up on my side. But I think you picked it up previously, so you should be able to pick it up again.
I know, but I'd like to see where the share the screen. That's my only problem here. It's not here.
Okay.
Folks, as you're watching us, just think if it were you. What would you do if you were here? Go crazy like I am? Of course. But we're going to fix.
Let me just see if I can check this out. Maybe I'll get some support.
Or if worse comes to worse, I just won't do the slides, which is fine, as long as people don't leave.
Okay, let me just check with the support chat. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
Well, you know what? While you do that, Kevin, I'm just going to start. Okay,
I'm just going to start. Go right ahead, Joyce. I'm going to let you take it. I'm going to just get on touch with the support and see what's happening.
And then if the slides come up, that would be awesome. Okay, so folks, for those of you who are still here, I'm going to first start with before we get into 3 pillars, and I'm going to tell you what they are, I'm going to take you through a toleration exercise. And that's going to set the tone for the entire time together. So tolerations are things that drive us crazy. They get in our way. We sometimes stay up at night. We sometimes stay up at night thinking about these tolerations. So I had a client, Kevin, who came to me and said, Joyce, I have a toleration that is so huge and I don't know what to do. So I want you folks who are listening here today, I want you to think of a big toleration that you're experiencing right now. So Kevin said, my mother-in-law is coming to visit us. And I don't like my mother-in-law, but she has to come because she's recuperating from a emergency operation. And I know she has to be here. So we practiced and he had an idea. We decided that what Kevin was really experiencing was the fact that he was concerned that he wasn't going to get enough space with his mother-in-law over. So he went to his wife and he said, honey, of course your mom is going to come. I need to let you know that I need my space. So please don't expect me to be here every meal and watch TV all the time. And Kevin's wife stopped him and said, honey, I get it. I know what your needs are. So the whole idea is to figure out what toleration do you have and how can you change that mindset so that it's not big anymore and we have a chance to fix these things and to make sure that our stress is not getting in the way. So I know that Kevin introduced me. So what you may, and yes, I have a master's in guidance and counseling, and I've written 3 books. But the most important thing for you to know is that I experienced bullies in my life too. And that was a huge toleration for me. So a few years ago, I noticed something that my clients were almost all of them were saying they have bullies in their life. And I decided it's time to do research on bullies, more on conflict and the conflict at work. So I discovered at that time that Joyce had a blind spot. We all have blind spots. Lucky for me and lucky for my clients, I discovered it because I figured, oh my, I've got bullies in my life too. I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't realize that I was a target for them. So I want you to think, is there someone in your life who's always asking you questions like, why do you do this? How come you do that? And you're always defending yourself? Well, it's going to be worth your time today for this one idea that I came up with during this research. And what that was, I figured, how could I stop being a target? And this is big for you, big for all of us. So I said, I'm curious, what interests you so much about how I live my life? I'm going to repeat. I'm curious, what interests you so much about how I live my life? And my dear friends, my international friends that are watching right now, they stopped asking me that question. I was no fun anymore. So this is a great way to start today. And I'd like you to put in the chat if you've ever experienced a bully or if you are experiencing a bully. So one of the first things that we're going to talk about is the gap. The gap is one of the strategies that I use during my online course. The gap is in between when you respond and when someone says to you. So the gap is your safe place. And that's when you're going to get into the gap before you even open your mouth and think what you're going to say. Are you going to be sarcastic? Are you going to say silent? Are you going to be assertive? You have a choice. We all have a choice of how we are going to react. All of us. So let me give you an example, a personal example. They're all true, by the way. I changed the names of clients, obviously. So there I was in a face-to-face meeting with a group of first responders. And I was talking about some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And all of a sudden, there was someone in the audience, we'll call him George. If there's a George here, please don't take it personal. And he said, Joyce, I need to talk to you. Joyce, he was red in the face. He was angry. And I'm thinking to myself, get prepared, get into the gap. He said to me, Joyce, you seem like a nice lady, but this stuff is not going to work on the streets. We deal with drug addicts, alcoholics. This is not going to work. I got into the gap and I said, Joyce, take a second. How are you going to respond? Boom, came out this answer. George, you're right. It's not going to work on the streets. It will work in your office. Because as you know, all the research and all the interviewing I did with this group, there's lots of bullies here. And we need to figure out how to have those tough conversations so we have a bully-free zone. Well, George stood up and I'm saying, oh gosh, what now? He said, Joyce, thank you. You're right. It's going to work in the office. So the gap, and I hope you see the power. And if you see the power of the gap, I want you, please, to put in the chat, I do Joyce. I do Joyce. It's easy. All you have to do, get in the middle before you open your mouth. And guess what? The gap may even tell you, don't say anything. Sometimes silence is okay. So we did the toleration exercise. We did the gap. Now, how to make conversations safe. This is the next pillar. This is also from my online course, and it is actually a trademark of mine, making conversations safe. So as I talk about this strategy, I want you to please, if you'll go with me, think how you can use this strategy. It's easy. All it is you saying, I don't want to, I do want to. I'm going to give you an example, don't worry. I don't want to, I do want to. I don't want to create stress between us. I do want to have an important conversation. So there's Alice. Alice is loved by all her colleagues. The thing is, Alice is creating, but she has a lot of stress in her life, and she's bringing this stress to work. So all of Alice's colleagues are going up to the HR director and saying, you've got to do something. She's causing so much stress for us. We're behind. So the HR director comes to me. She's one of my clients. And we practice the gap. And this is what we discussed, how she can approach Alice. Think about, folks, please, think about how you can use, I don't want to, I do want to, as I'm explaining what happened. So this is Alice. No, this is the HR director. Alice, I don't want to create any more stress with you. I do want to make sure that we support you during this time of stress. I don't want to. I do want to. Now, some of you may say, but Joyce, that's not getting to the heart of the problem. You're right. Here I go with you're right. The thing is, this one conversation relaxed Alice. She absolutely understood that she needed to have this tough conversation. That's when the HR director saw Alice was in the palm of her hands, and the HR director said, we have to figure out what to do because Alice, this is getting in the way of the team's productivity. The end of the conversation, Alice understood it. Things got better. So if you're with me here, I want you to give a big 10. If you're with me here, I want you to that 10 meaning, oh, I hear you. I love this exercise. Give me a 10. So we talked about the mindset. We talked about the gap. We talked about making conversations safe. Now we're going to have some drum rolls. I don't know if you hear that. Dum, boom, boom, boom. This is the one I've never talked about this topic, but let me tell you, if you want to get inside of the head of Joyce Weiss, videos used to be my headache. I've been making videos on social media for years, and every single time I got in front of the camera, hello camera, I froze and I hated it. And guess what? It looked that way. So lucky me, and I hope you also have either masterminds or people who you really trust that are not going to be out to put a knife in you, but to really give you some positive feedback. I have a friend called John from my mastermind who said, Joyce, I don't get it. You're authentic, you're fun, you're in the moment. The minute you get on camera, you freeze. And I thought about it. And he's right. He didn't have to tell me. But what he did was I realized, oh, it's time for a change. How can I be me? I lose myself. So that evening, I saw a politician on TV as I was thinking about my own videos. And she was giving this state of a state union. Let me tell you, I saw myself. This politician, when she was giving her speech, was so stiff. Hi, this is what I'm going to talk about. You didn't even see her breathe. When she took questions from the audience, she was herself. And that's when I said, that's it. That's me. So I hope that you're going to find some really good strategies. And what I'm going to share with you, maybe you're going to disagree with some of them. I don't care. They work. And I don't mean I don't care because I'm sounding like a snit. It doesn't matter. You figure out what works for you. So one of the first things is before you give a presentation, and yes, I did this today, and I'm so glad because the slides aren't on, and I don't know how I'm doing this, but I know you're with me, folks. You're helping me. Thanks for the energy. So I went up and down the stairs a few times before I got on the phone before I got into Restream with Kevin. And I got the adrenaline going. And I figured, okay, I got to get in the mood. This is going to be exciting. Going to be live streaming. So first, do some kind of jumping jacks. Jump up and down the stairs. I don't care what it is. Get some energy. If you choose to use a teleprompter, you notice that Big View is the host. And I don't work for Big View. I happen to be a customer. And every time I use Big View, the teleprompter, it's a smile. So before I hit the record button, so for you, maybe you use a teleprompter, maybe you don't. Before you hit that button, put that smile on. And for those of you who are saying, Joyce, I have a very serious topic. Well, do you think conflict resolution's fun, folks? It isn't, but I add fun. I add powerful quotes. I add my personality. When we get people to relax, what we have to do is understand that that is going to help. That is going to help them with if you have a serious topic. So I took a death and dying class when I was getting my master's of counseling years back. Our professor invited a group of parents whose children passed away. Every single one of them said humor got them through. They had to remember fun times that they had, and not the loss of hair, and not how sick they were. But when you realize that humor helps us, even with very serious topics, you're going to think before that. And I'm going to tell you at the end how you can contact me. So if you like these ideas, and I haven't even gotten to all of them yet, I want you to say, you bet Joyce in the chat. Please, you bet Joyce. And if you're ready to make a change. So the next one is so obvious. You went to school, your teachers, your professor said, practice, practice. Well, you're talking, yeah, the queen of conflict resolution. I'm also the queen of practicing. And it's a good thing that I practiced my PowerPoint today and yesterday and the day before, because guess what? It ain't here, folks. So practicing helped me so I could be here for you. So sure, you practice, you read your notes, and then I'm going to give you a formula that I use, and I'll give you a perfect demonstration. You first start with a question that may be painful, that your prospects, if you are in sales, your prospects can really understand what you're saying. I'm going to give you an example in a moment. Then you introduce yourself. 2 sentences, not a half hour, because the videos I'm talking about are 2 minutes or less if you put them in social networking. Then 1 or 2 tips, and then a call to action if you want people to reach you. If you don't, you can just say thanks for watching with that smile. So here's an example. If I were to record something, would you like to speak up during tough conversations without stressing out? If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Joyce Weiss, communication coach, known as the queen of conflict resolution. And in this video, you're going to find out how to tip 1, tip 2. Thanks for watching. If you've got more questions, all you have to do is send me an email, joyce@joyceweiss.com. That's it. That's 2 minutes or less. And this formula, a question that is absolutely painful to your viewers, so you know you're going to get them in. Introduction, but please, it's not about you. Oh, it's so hard. How many people? I want you to say yes if you're tired of people just talking about themselves the whole time. So when I talk about myself today, it's for examples, right? After your introduction, 1 or 2 quick tips and a call to action. Let's talk about posture. You notice I have this much space between here and the top. That's what I'm hoping you do. So many times when people are on camera, you see them, so they're, oh, here, they're down here. Or you just can't see them. So that's very easy. That's a fix. You just move your camera up and down a little bit. Another posturing suggestion is that do it from your face up. Hello, your waist up. You could see I'm using my hands. If I had my props, I could use my props. When I do how to feel heard here, you'd see these. So waist up, and every time I do a video standing up, it's always waist up, mainly because I'm usually in jeans from waist down, and I don't want people to see them. Okay, that's our secret, right? You're not going to tell anybody. So besides having it up like this and waist up and smiling and using the formula, you notice I'm not sitting up like this. And many reasons. I don't want to scare you. When you back up, and especially if you use a teleprompter, the camera is nicer to you. It's really your friend, because it's not going to pick up when you either are using the teleprompter or even looking at your notes. I'm looking at my notes right here. You may see it for a second. But the thing is, especially now because my slides aren't here, so you're going to see my eyes go like this, but give me a little slack, okay? I know you will. So get as far back as you can, and you're going to be able to, like I said, the camera is going to be your friend. Get comfortable with your notes. Get comfortable. It took me maybe 3 videos before I was really comfortable with a wait, could you put that back up there, please? That went up and it disappeared. I'm getting a message from that the audience wants me to do something. So, Kevin, put that on if you can. Okay, they want you to repeat the steps. If it was the steps for the video, I'm assuming that's what that is. Ask a question with pain. Introduce yourself, give 1 or 2 tips, and give a call to action. And if this is not the question you wanted me to, if this wasn't your question, please put it in the chat, and Kevin will tell me in our little private chat what you want, because that's very, very important. So the teleprompter has changed my life. Now, I have some coaches who are also speakers who say, Joyce, you shouldn't, here we come again, get into my business, right? You shouldn't really have to use a teleprompter after being in the business for all that time. Well, thanks for telling me what I should or shouldn't do. I know one thing, how can I talk about speaking up without stressing out, without me saying to you, the teleprompter has absolutely changed my life. I am not kidding. You could probably see my little vein sticking out here. I'm so much more confident because sure, I still practice a couple times. It takes me 1 or 2 retakes. And the beautiful thing is you make a mistake, boom, retake on the teleprompter. You start all over and you'll get it. Oh, you made another mistake. Oh my God, everybody pinch yourself for a minute. Not too hard. Oh, it hurts. You're a human being. Huh. So we learn from our mistakes. I'm constantly learning. It's just wonderful. It's a wonderful thing to do, to learn, constantly learn. So those are some of the video tips that I have. And I am going to go into my notes just because I want to make sure that I give you the best of the best. So I have a question for you. If some of you would like to work with me about your confidence, whether it's videos, whether it's speaking up, I have a plan. Like so many of us need a plan when we need to make a change. Option one is you stay stuck. You're confused and you're full of self-doubt. I don't like plan one. Then there's plan two, option two. You follow a roadmap. You feel more confident. So some of the reasons why you're here, maybe if you reduce your drama and stress, how much would that be worth to you? Can you imagine finally being heard in meetings? How much would that be worth to you? If you could kick bullies in the curb, how much would that be worth to you? And the good news, you now have a strategy. The next time a bully, and I understand that some bullies are off the chart and they're nasty and there could be narcissists and there may be nothing you can do. But if it was like my judgy friends, when you start with, I'm curious, what makes it so interesting for you to what I do in my life, you now have the power and control. Think if you could feel confident recording your videos like a rock star. What would that be worth to you? Another reason, you're motivated to stop being unheard so you can get the respect. Another reason, you're ready to confidently handle difficult situations and you just can't take it anymore. So I want you in the chat to please write either number 1 all the way to 10. 1 is, I'm still not hopeful. I need so much help. I don't have the skills. 10, Joyce, I'm already there, but maybe I could still use a little bit of help. So put a number, and afterwards I'm going to be able to see the chat too. So whatever number you have, I invite you, and I'm going to tell you about my online course called Kick Conflict to the Curb. It's a 6-week. Oh, yes. I just got a announcement that I will be very happy and share my presentation with you. So in this course, it's a 6-week online course. And I always, when I launch them, I only have a few people in the course. I'll have a few going at the same time because I coach everybody and everybody in the class helps each other. So in the course, you're going to be able to speak confidently without frustration and feeling unheard. Reducing your drama and stress, which is a huge one for my clients. Gain control when others try to push you and maybe even get that promotion. So you're going to transform from not feeling heard, not feeling heard to feeling confident using your voice. So in the first week, the importance of being direct with respect. The second week, we're going to cover making conversations safe. The third week, using constructive feedback. The fourth week, the power of power talk. And this is a trademark that just works like magic. The fifth week, it's verbal aikido. You're going to protect yourself and know how to do it easily when others push you. And the sixth week, we're going to celebrate your success and talk about your personalized action plan. So what I would like is to, instead of me doing a real sales job, because that's not what I'm about. If you want to find out if this course is right for you, all you need to do is send me an email, Joyce@JoyceWeiss.com, Joyce@JoyceWeiss.com, or put your email in the chat and tell me all you have to put your email. I'll get a hold of you and we'll figure out a good time. It just take 20 minutes and you could feel very easy. I'm not pushing. That's not what this is about, because I want to make sure the course is right for you. And I want to make sure that your skill level is there, that not your skill level, that you feel comfortable taking it. And Kevin, it's Joyce, Joyce, Joyce at joyceweiss.com, if you can possibly fix it. How do you like that for being direct? Hopefully with respect. So thank you, Kevin. You're listening to me. I feel heard. So if you have questions, that's all you have to do is reach out to me, and then I will get back to you about the course, about coaching. And it was Martin Luther King who said, I just love this slide. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. I'm going to repeat that because I sort of made a mistake. And see, if I record it, I just do it all over again. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. So I'd like to go back all the way to when we started. And when I started that little fantasy with you. And I want to see if I did my job with or without slides. Just imagine how you're going to feel when you confidently use your voice during those tough conversations. Hopefully you got some good ideas to how to at least start that conversation. Then your irritations that bothered you are going to magically disappear because you know you have a toleration exercise. As a matter of fact, I have a handout. Oh, that's what I'm going to do. I have a handout that I will put together for you. All you have to do is send me an email and I will send that handout. And it's got all these ideas in the handout. Oh, so glad I thought about that. See, I got into the gap. And the last part of our fantasy is how you can make those videos fun, how you can enjoy the process. And if you started today saying, I suck at videos, and I hope I didn't insult anybody with that word, but that's what I hear all the time. And I said that to myself. You now know, and you have some ideas on how you can make them better and how you can enjoy yourself and be a lot less, experience a lot less inner stress. So I love the way, first of all, I want to thank Big View for hosting today. I want to thank all of you who stayed on during the first 10 minutes when we were trying to figure this out. And Kevin, thank you so much for trying. You get an A+ in my book. So here you go. Find me on YouTube, Joyce Weiss. Find me on LinkedIn. Go to at linkedin.com/in/Joyce Weiss. Get my blog at, you can sign up joyceweiss.com. And that's a weekly blog called Kick Conflict. Oh, there you go. It's magic. Go to joyceweiss.com and it's called Kick Conflict to the Curb, Stomp Out Your Stress. So, Kevin, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart that I didn't create a lot of stress because of what just happened. And we did it. So are there questions?
Yeah, so thanks very much, Joyce. That's been amazing. And once again, from our side, apologies for the technical issue. In any event, Joyce really took care of that well, and she showed us really how to deal with stress and and conflict when things happen. So I thought that was really top. And thanks to all of you for being so supportive sticking with us and hearing what Joyce has to bring us, the value that she has to bring us. And now, if anyone has any specific questions, especially John, I'm the bombing. So thank this for you, John. If anybody else has any specific questions for Joyce, we'd love to hear from you. And also anybody that wants to get in touch with Joyce or wants any feedback from Joyce or anything like that, whatsoever, I'm sure Joyce would be happy to give you advice and feedback on that. Please reach out to us at Big View at our support channel on support at bigview.tv, and just ask to contact Kevin to be in touch with Joyce Weiss. So that's just our support. I'll just type that in for you guys so that you can get hold of that if you need to. And a big thank you to Joyce for really stepping up in spite of the technical issues and really taking the bull by the horns, as we say.
My pleasure. Thanks if you did this purposely, Kevin, thank you, because I didn't. I didn't faint. I didn't sweat. And I knew that there were all these people all over the world that I wanted to help stomp out their stress. So I had to do it.
Absolutely. So let's see if we okay. So I have a question from Nina. Thanks, Nina. Nina's question is, how do you respond if someone keeps pressing you even after you've taken your gap?
Okay, great question. And what you do is they keep on pushing you. They keep on pushing you. I'm going to jump into a strategy that I use in the course. It's called verbal aikido. And if you know anything about the martial arts, the person who pulls back is the one that is the stronger one. So they're pushing you. And if you push back with, no, I don't, all you managers are the same, blah, 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 blah. Instead of you saying, no, I don't, step back and say, here I come with I'm curious again. I'm curious why you asked that, or tell me more, or well, those are probably the first two. I'm curious, tell me more. The reason that you do this, you may say that's having them push you. No, that's giving you control. You're not pushing back. They may then answer in a way that's a lot less stressful than when they were pushing you. But what I want you to do when you ask the question, and if you want some more feedback, just send me an email. I'm really here for you. I will be, definitely love that question. So again, you have the control. Get in the gap for everybody. I have something, I'm just going to share one last, because this is a trademark of mine. Hopefully you can see this is a chair, cute little chair. And every time a trigger, and when you ask this question, I'm hopefully this can help you. Triggers are people who drive you crazy. They're like irritations, but they're people. Triggers are usually people. So I have a few triggers in my life, like you probably do too. And every time I think of a chair, I say, I can't get mad at this chair. A chair is a chair. It can't help being a chair. It's the same thing with your trigger. Your trigger can't help being themselves. So what you have to do is look at them as a chair. Don't take it personal. So Nina, when you asked that question, and it was such a good question, especially if it's a bully, they're a bully. They're going to be pushing. If they don't push you because you're going to get strong, you say, I'm not going to be a target, they're going to find someone else. Same thing with those triggers. When you don't allow them, even though you control your stress, I love it when I say this, right? You control your stress, that trigger will stop being a trigger for you. If you say they can't help themselves, this has nothing to do with me.
Great. Thanks very much, Joyce, for that answer. It was really pertinent, and we appreciate you you're giving that feedback. Anybody else that has any questions for Joyce, direct questions for Joyce, maybe that she can help, or otherwise you can perhaps contact her directly at her email at joyce@joyceweiss.com. She'd be really happy to hear from you.
I'll definitely, number one, I just interrupted. Don't you love me, Kevin?
Alrighty,
So, yes, send me an email with the question, comments, and if you want the handout, send it to me and I'll send it to you. And if you want to find out more, obviously, about the course or coaching.
Great. So, if just before we close off, if anybody has any additional questions, please send them through. In the meanwhile, I'll just tell you we have a lot of exciting workshops coming up as well in the near future. So please check out our YouTube channel. And if anybody has specific requests for topics for workshops, we'd be happy to look for experts and people with the necessary skills to present. If you have something specific you're looking for, we can always try and fit that in if it fits in with our general topic of anything related to video creation and video editing and preparation for that, and how to improve it and how to deliver and soft skills around that. That's generally the type of workshops that we like to do. And once again, thank you all for joining us from all over, and I wish you all well, and please God, good tidings for everyone. We should all be well in good health and peace. And thank you once again. Thank you very much to Joyce especially, and for presentation and for professionalism and taking control when it was needed. Great. Okay. Thanks. Thanks everybody. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you being with us, and we wish you all the best.